let's go into the Adobe Bridge, and we have a cropped image here of some wings. And I already cropped this out. This is actually cropped out of it was this big seagull or something that was in the water, and so I cropped the wings out of it. And I already did all this, so you don't have to worry about it. And the resolution was not that great. But the thing is that if you're going to create something like an elephant with wings, well, it's going to take a little time to find a photo with a bird that is kind of going in the same direction. And which is kind of funny is that the bird actually had his back faced towards the camera. But I really focused on the way the wings looked, and then I placed that image over the elephant, and it just, for some reason, it seemed to work, or it was the closest thing I could get. So let's go ahead and I'll click on this one, or I'll select the move tool, right click on this, make sure I had that selected. There we go. I'll click on this wing here and drag that over to the montage scene. And let's just name this left wing. I can go back over to this, select this other one, drag that over, and we'll call this right wing. And then while we're at it, let's just go ahead and save this. Montage video. And while I'm at it here, I think I'll just move this over a little bit, and we can close these other images because we no longer need them. And if we need to recall any of this, we can just go back into the Adobe Bridge. Let's go ahead and continue the image here, and let's start with, we can start with the right wing, because we're going to get this wing over on this elephant. And I'll select the move tool, and we can bring this down. And of course, we need the wing, or the right wing, in front of the elephant. So what I'll do is just click on this layer and drag it above the elephant layer. There we go. And I'll just position this in a way, and we sort of have to imagine this is really going to be on the elephant and all that. Well, that looks pretty good. And if it's an elephant, well, the wings must be pretty big, right? So they will pick up the elephant and fly away. So I figured I'd make the wings as big as possible, as long as they still work. But this looks pretty good. And then what we can do is, well, we can also make this a smart object. I'll create a layer mask on this layer, and I'll use the paintbrush here, and I'll zoom in, and then I can start to paint on this mask. So we can make the wing here blend in. Look at that. And I'll probably undo the bottom here, because usually most of the time it's just this top here is where the wing is connected. And I'll probably turn up the hardness of this brush just a little bit. Now I don't want to make this bottom here too soft, because usually wings are not attached down here, but they're usually not attached at this point either, but we might have to fudge it here a little bit, since we're kind of making this up with an elephant with wings. I'm going to come through here and see if I can make this blend just a little bit more. I'll turn down the opacity to about 50%. Something like that. So it really looks like it's a part of the elephant there. Just move that mask around just a little bit. Okay, I think I like that. And there's also shadows and other things that we should create to make this look a little bit more realistic. But while we're at it, let's go ahead and click on the left wing or turn that on and move that above all the other, or I'm sorry, below the elephant, because we want that behind the elephant here. And I will just zoom out a little bit, and so I can see this just a little bit closer. I think originally, I might have had that wing down too low. It's sort of hard to imagine because we can't see the other side of the elephant, so we have to kind of guess on where this is. And that's, you can kind of luck out. Really the hard part, well, it's not really a hard part, but the most time-consuming part of creating a montage is finding the photos that are going to work. And I've already done a lot of that for you already. I'm just showing you how to put it all together. So all you have to do is go find the right photos, and then you can follow some of the techniques on this video and create your own images. But I think that looks really good right there. Now what we can do is create a shadow. Oh, I can just click on the water layer and make a new layer above that. And we can call this elephant shadow. We can either paint the shadow, there's a lot of things we can do here. Looks like we have some light hitting this tower over here. So, if you're going by that, then you have to kind of imagine the lights hitting the front nose here or the head of the elephant. And so the shadows would be more back. It doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as we have some type of shading there, we should be okay, because you could spend a lot of time getting the shadows just right. Depending on your theory with art and all that, you can make this probably a lot better than I am. I can lower the opacity of that, because I really don't think that needs to be a very, very dark shadow. But as long as we have some type of shading there, I think we'll be okay. What else I can do is use a layer mask on this water layer here. And just make that a little bit darker. Down where his feet are, just a little bit darker there. There we go. It's a little hard to make stuff if you've never seen it before, or or you're taking different photos that have all the lighting on all the photos, or the objects are all different. They're not all the same. So we have to sort of make something up here. But I think that looks pretty decent. all along I knew I was going to blend all the colors together in this entire image, and that helps it make it look like everything, the towers, the elephants, and the wings, and everything is really there all at the same time in the same spot. Before I move on to the color blending, though, to make it look like everything's together, what I'm going to do is add some more fog in this image just to create some type of drama effect that may be needed. So